Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. And today is a very special day. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
What up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And today, we're embarking upon a project which came to me in a dream. No, I'm just kidding. I was laying in bed at night and I was like, I'm bored as fuck, can't sleep. How about I type out my top 25 favorite Star Wars characters? And I started typing it, and I got to 25, and I kept going. I kept typing it out, and I was like, oh shit, okay, now I'm at 87. Might as well go ahead and throw another 13 on here, and let's do a top 100 Star Wars characters. Now, this is not in terms of what is the best character necessarily, who's been the best written. It's entirely subjective, and entirely based on who you favor. What characters are hitting you in the right spots. And so many so that I actually had to eliminate some from a top 100, which is absolutely absurd. I can't believe that I ended up coming to that, but
yeah, when you came to me at about it was a good probably around like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You were like hit me with this idea, and I was just like, yes. I was doing nothing else. Like, I was scouring to find something to do, and then you were like, all right, top 100 Star Wars characters, go. And I was like, yeah, okay. I get going, and the first 60 people just go down like effortlessly. And then I realized, like, doing this at 2 in the morning, you know, like, damn, like, I love me some Star Wars. If I can just sit in bed and just 60 people, I don't even know if I can list out 60 people in my real life, like, that quickly, you know? I don't know if I could do that for my real life human people, but I sure as hell could do it for Star Wars.
Oh, I could too, and like, I'm very excited about this. We're going to work our way up from 100 up to 1, and we're going to play it by ear. This might be 100 through 76, might be 100 through 51. Don't know. But it won't be the entire thing in this episode. Probably not anyway. But I say we kick it off with our hundreds, our 100 spots. And I'll go first. I have the Mayor's Major Domo, as he appeared in the Book of Boba Fett.
The Major Domo, a head joke just waiting to happen at every turn. I don't know why.
Every turn.
And like, just, I mean, even with this finale, he kind of like not redeemed himself in any way. Like, he's still very hateable in every way.
It just became clear that it's not like he's not really about any like. He wasn't loyal to who he was serving or anything. He was just like doing his job. He went to school, got his major, and whatever the fuck he got his major in, found a job where his major applied, and he went ahead and did it. Which is hilarious. Because, you know, like, as he's explaining it, he's like, "Well, I majored in this negotiation tactics or whatever the fuck," and it's like,
oh yeah,
I love when Boba was like, "All right, go out there before I change my mind." And
I truly think that this character stemmed from just that moment. They needed someone to go out and tell, like the Pikes, that Boba wasn't about it. I think they just needed someone, not Boba and not Din, so they could have him fly out like they did, basically.
God, that was a fucking fantastic scene. But, you know, now I officially ship the Mayor's Major Domo with Pelimoto as well.
Oh, so 100%.
Give me a sitcom on Tatooine where the Major Domo and Peli are just running the shit with their droids.
There's one.
Pelimoto.
God dang it. But yeah, they that immediate, like, we don't have time for this, like, wasn't it like just a sign of like, well, they're coming back up. Like, they're coming back up. Like,
yeah,
this is gonna be pretty cute. And I would just love if Pelly turns into like the babysitter for Grogu, because like who else does he trust, really with Grogu? There's not many people that he trusts with Grogu, and but it'd be so funny if they become like Grogu's godparents, basically. Like, he's just or like aunt and uncle, just whatever. But
I just need a filmed in front of a live studio audience, Major Domo and Pellis to come.
Oh, but the Major Domo is a perfect 100.
Oh yeah, and you got to make the 100 special. It's like, this isn't the most important character in the world to me. I do favor him over some other characters though, as I had to eliminate a few, including Max Rebo. Ended up bumping Max Rebo off the list for Major Domo here.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to my guy. I hope he's not dead. Hope that man comes back. Maybe he'll come back around.
No way they give him an off-screen death. No way.
No way. That's Max Rebo. I'll get to this more. I'll get more to that topic later. You go on ahead with your 100 though. Mine was the mayor's Major Domo.
Numero 100. We got Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
Yeah, it was So I actually struggled to get to 100. Unlike you, I got to around 87 or something like that. And then I really had to start kind of thinking and looking up, characters that I was forgetting. But I think Babu Frick's just like a perfect 100 character.
Oh yeah,
it's a character that you remember, but he has 4 lines maybe total. And those 4 lines, or the couple seconds he's on screen, you remember that dude, like it's Babu Frick. Yeah, like it's Babu Frick. You have a super emotional moment of C-3PO about to get wiped completely.
Droid, memory, go, like.
And then you just have this Babu Frick thing. Whatever it is.
Legendary is what it is. And with that, my 99 is Babu Frick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, perfect. My 99 was Babu Frick. Absolutely love Babu Frick. One of my favorite characters from The Rise of Skywalker. I've got my own little like the plush thing where his head is like the hard plastic. I've got that up in my room. He was one of my tree toppers this year for Christmas. Babu Frick, a legend. I love Babu Frick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess my 99 and 98 kind of work as a pair. I got Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Aunt Beru above Uncle Owen, specifically. Uncle Owen was a dream crusher, just a farmer. He's just stuck in his ways. But Aunt Beru, she knew what was up. She knew what would become of Luke. Yeah, she knew what was up.
Loved Aunt Beru. Loved Aunt Beru. The women in the Skywalkers' lives, criminally underrated. Shmi, who I will bring up later. But Aunt Beru, integral in Luke becoming the man he becomes. I have to assume, given that he grew up with Owen and Beru, and Owen fucking sucked. I gotta guess Aunt Beru was very important in that.
Oh yeah, she seemed just like
She seemed like a sweetheart. She seemed so
like
so
a
kind.
Leia, basically just like a Skywalker woman. Like they're all just independent, very strong. Like I guess not like. They're above. They're like a cut above, and they know it, and they know it too. Like they know, like Aunt Beru, she knows.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget Aunt Beru's jean jacket, her jean shirt, in a galaxy far, far away. Their kitchen in A New Hope looks just like a fucking normal kitchen. It's the funniest shit to me every
blue
time.
Milk, but they gotta have blue milk though.
Gotta have.
It's the only thing you need to switch up there. You can actually live there. You can go there and stay there.
Yeah, you could.
It's a legitimate hotel, basically, that you can pay for.
A little visit spot. You can a little tourism spot. I watched Ewan McGregor visit it once in one of his documentaries, in which he was traversing continents and on his fucking motorcycle. The legend. What a god! I love him. But yeah, Aunt Beru, legend. Perfect 99. Perfect 9. Or was that your 98?
98. Uncle Owen 99.
I see. All right, so my 98 then. I got Gonky from the Bad Batch. I love that little Gonky, yo. I mean, the fact that they built him up the whole season,
Mhm.
They were like, you got him being just the everyman for the Bad Batch crew, always there for them. Wrecker's using him as a fucking weight. Omega's best friends with him. He's he's
the only defective gonk
the
droid like in the
defective gonk
universe,
droid,
basically.
and they plug him in there for his hero's moment at the end of the season. And I got to tell you, I fucking love it. So Gonky comes in here at my 98.
That's an amazing pick. I didn't even think of him. I'm not like mad that I didn't include him,
No.
but I am kind of now. That's just how can they create a universe in which we can care about a battery? That's all that droid is. Like pretty much
Gonky.
a charger. He's a
Yeah.
charger, a portable charger. We care about that guy, you know?
Giant power pack.
Like, can you imagine seeing that guy like blow up? Like we'd be like,
I'd be heartbroken if
we'd be like,
Gonky died.
no, yeah, like, and that's a droid. Like, oh, wow, Star Wars is something else if they can get you to care about a gonk droid. Wow, yeah, my 97.
Sure.
If I'm pronouncing this correctly, Xi'an from episode 6 of The Mandalorian, The Prisoner.
Oh, the Twi'lek.
The Twi'lek, yes, that Mando might have had some romantic pasts with, possibly.
I want some more of that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Give me some more information on his old life. I mean, I do love who he's become, obviously. And those stories are vastly more interesting. But I am curious. What was this dude like when he was seemingly a cold-hearted bounty hunter of some sort?
You know, I think like Boba and Din are criminally similar in the fact that we don't know anything about their past lives, but we love the person that they become. And Boba, his reputation was, don't mess with him, he'll kill you, he's murderous, he's crazy. The only things we've really gotten for Din is that he's a ladies' man.
That man fucks.
Yeah, Din fucks.
Not
so,
not just. I have the suspicion not just ladies.
He's a fucking
I think
man.
this man's got fucking to give, and I don't think he cares where.
This is the way.
Yeah, but Xi'an, a great choice. I mean, she was electric in that episode of The Mandalorian. I mean, I hope she comes back around somehow. You know, all of them ended up in a New Republic prison cell, but you know, the New Republic doesn't last forever. So, who knows? You know, Mayfeld ended up somewhere out in the universe, and he's free now. So
maybe he'll go free him.
Maybe so, and we see them reunite. I'd be interested to see. But Xi'an, that's a great choice. That was your 97? All right. My 97 is Quarsh Panaka, who was the lead royal guard for Padme Amidala in The Phantom Menace.
Okay. I played as him all the time in Lego Star Wars.
There you go, buddy. And that's one of the top reasons, because I absolutely loved being Quarsh Panaka in Lego Star Wars.
His gun was different. Yeah, his gun hit it. I swear, there's a mission where you have to hit these 4 targets that are super high up, and you have to shoot them like as you're going up this like thing. And I swear I couldn't hit him with like anyone else. His gun just felt more accurate for me.
His was nasty. But that being part of the reason, I'm also reading The Queen's Shadow right now, the book about Padme Amidala and her handmaidens. And it has become a trilogy of books. I can't wait to read the next 2 as well. I'm assuming he'd be a bigger part of the second one, given it's a prequel to The Queen's Shadow. But The Phantom Menace is towards the end of his time as the Royal Guard of Naboo. Like, he's about to retire. But even so, he is loyal to Padme all the way to the end. Whenever she finishes her term as queen, she's asked to join the Senate by the new queen. And Panaka's like, hey, if you want, I was going to retire. I will ride for you. I will go to Coruscant with you. And ultimately, she dismisses him of his duty, and he's able to retire and live out his days. Oh yeah, it's outstanding. I love that specific trope. The and it hasn't been done a lot, but like
like a true ride or die.
True ride or die. Who like he is beneath her in terms of power and status and in everything, and even so, he is vastly more protective of her than she is of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way he cares about her is completely different than the way she cares about him. And it's just like, and it's just a really cool character, I think. And I'd like some more Quarsh Panaka content.
That was a good one to bring up. Yeah. Whenever you first mentioned the name, there's no way I could have told you, but
yeah. Quarsh is a hell of a name.
Definitely a great character. My 96 takes a little fourth wall break, I guess. It's Dave Filoni, just as, you know, the pilot that appeared in The Mandalorian.
Yes, I believe he was Wolf was his name.
Technically a character. You know, I at least gotta throw him in here for what he's done.
That's who it was. His partner, Carson Teva. That's who I couldn't think of after we changed the subject for a second. I was like, who was I about to put on my fucking list? So, honorable mention for me, Carson Teva, played by Paul Seung Lee. He's absolutely fucking hilarious, and his character is fantastic. I hope to see. Didn't
even think. I guess Jon Favreau could technically go on here too.
Yeah, it's like Paz Vizsla.
I guess honorable mention to Jon Favreau as
the fucking Pre Vizsla too in the Clone Wars.
I be mentioning him later.
Interesting. All right. But yeah, with that, if you're done there, I know.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Dave Filoni. We gotta know Dave.
96 for me, Sid, from the Bad Batch, hosts that little cantina on Ord Mantell.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was awesome. I think, I mean, I got like, there was a point in the Bad Batch where I was like, we're spending a little too much time with Sid, I think. But, you know, ultimately she comes around when it comes to her relationship with Omega and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll accept it. She's cool, you know, and, I don't have much else to say about Sid, but I think it's awesome that her and Omega hit it off so strong pretty quick. And Omega saw through her kind of, not facade, because she's absolutely the way she presents herself. She just happened to be a little softer for Omega, which was
I was thinking about Bad Batch the other day because this whole Obi-Wan coming out on the 25th and now what's May 4th and could it be Bad Batch? You know, could they do it every year? And I was like, you know, I wonder how many seasons they really are planning for this show. And if like Sid will be a, like, you know, kind of like a Hondo of the Clone Wars, you know, kind of a lovable, you know, that they just come back to, you know, all the time. And it's always like fun and like cute interactions between characters. And I think Sid kind of fits like that bill for Bad Batch.
I think she's just an ideal side character, you know, like as Hondo Onaka was to the Clone Wars and later on a little bit in Rebels too. Like she really is just that reliable, like,
need a job, you know, and
who provides some comedic commentary, calls the characters funny names, calls Tech goggles and shit. Like, that's funny stuff. And in a Star Wars children's show, I love that. You know what I'm saying? So I fucks with Sid. That's my 96.
It's a good one. My 95 is Nala Se.
She was once my 95, eventually replaced.
Yeah, wow, look at that. But I gotta give some love to the Kaminoans. She did, you know, keep Order 66 a secret and all, but like can't blame her. Palpatine and like
probably under threat of some sort of death.
You know, Empire. Yeah, understandable.
Right.
But you know, she did all she could. You know, she was always on our side, pretty much. And
she saved Omega.
Yeah, I love me some Nala Se.
Nala Se is a good choice, and she was once upon a time on my list as well. I think I wanted to give some love to the Kaminoans. I ended up going with a peripherally related note there for the Kaminoans, but yeah, Nala Se, fucking fantastic choice. I love her and the way, and specifically for that moment where she saves Omega in the premiere of the Bad Batch. I love that because I love Omega. But yeah, that's a fucking good one. Nala Se. And with that, I'll go to my peripherally related character, in my 95. Also appears in Attack of the Clones and introduces to us the idea of the Kaminoans. Dex. Hello,
Perfect.
Dex.
Perfect.
Oh, yes. The cloners on Camino. Yeah, I love this dude. One of my favorite characters, definitely one of my favorite side characters in all of Star Wars. I mean, like, I don't think there's anyone on my list who has less screen time, technically. He's absolutely fantastic.
He knows all about that dart,
Oh,
that,
this here's a Camino saber dart made by them cloners on
he's
Camino.
the dude that just knows things.
He runs a diner.
That was a pretty
it's a dope ass 50s diner.
like what a cool part. I don't know that you usually forget about. Before you brought that up, like I completely forgot that Obi-Wan just goes to a diner, finds out where this assassin dart comes from, and that's how he finds out. Like, whoa, what a cool little storyline there. Like,
yeah, and it's I my favorite part about the scene is when Dex is like, Obi-Wan, and if the pan back to Kenobi, the next time you watch Attack of the Clones, just like I urge you to pay attention to his body language, because he is so happy to see Dex. Like he kind of grabs his stomach and leans back like, hello, Dex. He giggles. It's funny. I love it. But
he's such a dad.
Dex. That's my 95. He's fucking awesome. I love that dude.
Going up to 94, have Bendu.
Bendu.
I guess, was he completely neutral at the end? I don't know.
Hard to say.
But
it's hard to say.
Concept of this character. I just whenever he first came up in Rebels, I was like, this is a character I can get behind. This is like such a cool concept for Star Wars.
Right.
Basically a gray Jedi. One of the closest things we have to a gray Jedi, maybe Ahsoka is becoming, closer and closer to that. But I thought Bendu was super cool, like super powerful, and taught Kanan a lot of valuable lessons. Taught him like through being blind,
right?
Which is amazing, and involved in a lot of holocron business. I don't know. He just was involved in a lot of cool things. Bendu was.
Indeed. This is an early contender for our largest difference.
Interesting. I guess, yeah. You know what? Like, now that I'm looking at like the people who are above him, he was just kind of someone who I didn't think about and kind of finish my list off with.
Gotcha.
But
no, yeah, that's what's funny is like I'd actually forgotten him altogether. He was what caused Max Rebo to get bumped all the way down.
Oh no!
It was truly Bendu's fault for Max Rebo not appearing here.
Rightfully so, though. I think.
Certainly, I'd take Bendu over Max Rebo.
Max Rebo, legend though, legend. But Bendu's Bendu. Like,
Bendu's the Bendu.
Dude unleashed the wrath onto Thrawn. So. Onto everybody, actually. I guess it was kind of neutral. He did just kind of unleash.
He said, fuck it.
He said,
send that shit.
I'm pissed. Like, this is my home. I was chilling.
I was sleepy.
I found a planet that no one cared about, and look what you did. But yeah, love me some Bendu.
Outstanding. Bendu, fucking great choice. My 94 is Mon Mothma. The rebellion, one of the founding members of the rebellion, and later on the New Republic. I think she makes some. She's a politician's politician, so she is unlikable in that way, but she had the right morals on her most of the time. She knew what needed to be done. She was always on the right side of history, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And she serves as sort of a mentor to Padme in her time as a senator, and later on Leia as a member of the rebellion. So I think that's really cool. So Mon Mothma came in at my 94.
This might be surprising. Have the first Rogue One appearance.
Ooh.
Cassian Andor. And this is probably a big difference between us.
This is officially over the Bendu's difference. This is new biggest difference.
So with Rogue One, it's probably my third favorite Star Wars movie ever. And seeing a character this low, like it does, kind of hurt me a little bit. But I don't think I latch on to like the characters of Rogue One. It's just the story. I guess it is kind of the characters because like at the end, it's like, holy fuck. But it's kind of just what they're going through that I latch on to more of the
I'm
movie.
100% with you. It definitely is more the story than it is the characters, because like it took me like several watches of Rogue One before I could really remember who everyone even was.
Yeah. I mean, and this
There's
is just a very bad start. There are some Rogue One characters that are up there. Like, I'm not saying that all of these Rogue One characters are like low.
No, and like later on in my list will reflect that. I do like the characters from Rogue One very much, but I can't understand why you'd say that. Like it definitely did take me some viewings before I really came to appreciate Rogue One, and it my perception of them kind of evolved when I stopped caring about they die at the end. And then I was like, okay, they're still characters. They're still characters, and like we still got spinoff material with Cassian Andor set before he dies. So that's interesting, So I'm very excited about Andor. And Cassian Andor is a great choice. I have him. This is officially the biggest difference on the list, and can't imagine it's topped, given where we are, and where I have him. So it'll be interesting to be sure. So that was your 93?
Yes, 93. Sorry, Cassian.
Admiral Akbar.
It's
a trap.
It's a trap. Gotta have him on there.
No, yeah, I had to. I thought, and I'm always fucking with the rebellion leaders, so Admiral Akbar had to make the list.
I wanted his chair thing so bad that like
dope.
Whenever he could just watch the battle and like command from
when he like sits down and he turns around and like they're ready to just go ham. I love Admiral Akbar, dude, and I mean the character design of the Mon Cals is really cool. I've always thought that's really dope, and Admiral Akbar is where that starts, so that's really dope. Definitely a very innovative character design for a movie from 1983. So yes, Admiral Akbar.
And I like some of these characters that we're mentioning. Like, it's crazy that they're this low, but we could still talk like 30 minutes about like that.
Yeah, right. Like we're 7 characters. Like this 100 through 76 will definitely be an episode.
Just like a time check, which is it's crazy. Like I don't know, just. Everything we do with Star Wars, like each new Star Wars project, just like
always talk about all of them.
Yeah, it's crazy how much more.
I don't know why I doubted it. As soon as we started, I was like, I could go on for minutes about each of these characters. Yeah. Why did I kid myself?
I guess continuing with more Rogue One. Is it Galen or Gallon?
Galen.
Okay, Galen Erso. Probably no. I don't know. Probably another big difference. I'm not sure, but
second closest difference yet.
Well, there you go. Yeah, just another cool character, that just so happens, to be in Rogue One. That I attach to the story more rather than the characters. But it's kind of the same story with Cassian. I love both of these characters. It's just I think I favor other characters more. I would rather hang out. That's kind of like what I asked myself is like, unless it was
who
like
would
a
I want to
Sith
spend time
or
with
like
here?
Like Darth Maul. Like obviously Darth Maul, not someone I really want to hang out with, but he's still
the
pretty.
Story makes up for it there.
But I kind of asked myself a lot of those questions, and there's just like a lot more characters that I think I would rather like hang out with, but still a cool dude. So
love Galen Erso, and I'm definitely going to talk about him here in a little bit. Just a couple spots from now. But my 92 is Captain Phasma. Love Gwendolyn Christie, the actress who plays Captain Phasma. She was our Brienne of Tarth in Game of Thrones. I'm looking forward to eventually reading Captain Phasma's book that's centered around her, Phasma. I think that'll be really, really interesting and enhance her character a lot. And that battle in The Last Jedi, her versus Finn, epic. One of my favorite fights across the entire saga, across all Star Wars media. I think it's awesome. And the fact that it's paralleled with, Kylo and Rey fighting over the lightsaber and Admiral Holdo about to do the fucking Holdo maneuver. It's just a really impactful scene, and Phasma is a big part of it. Rebel scum.
Sorry.
Scum.
But,
Rebel scum. Love
that
every time.
Before Din came on screen, Din is he is my favorite armor, favorite costume, one of my favorite costume designs in all of Star Wars. Just with the volume and how they have all the reflections, no cameras, nothing. It's just
beautiful.
In every way, it's beautiful. But Captain Phasma, when she first popped up, I was like, oh,
this is so gas.
I didn't know clone armor or stormtrooper armor could look like this.
Right.
So, she earned the name Cap. You knew she was important. You knew just from seeing her.
It's a guarantee.
But I like how she was almost too shiny, and I love Din is the perfect balance in between matte and reflectiveness and everything. But yeah, she definitely sick, and a perfect casting to Brienne of Tarth.
Oh,
yeah, that was that was perfect. But yeah, I guess sticking with the sequel trilogy, my 91 is General Hux.
Great choice.
I kind of liked that he ended up being the spy, in the end and everything. He's, kind of.
And it wasn't because he fucked with the First Order, is because he hated Kylo Ren, which is just funny.
I think I hated him at first because I guess it's kind of what you do with any comic relief. It's just kind of, you don't really hate them, but it's they're comic relief, so you blow them off as a non-important character to care about.
And there's certainly reasons to have gripes with the direction Hux's character ultimately takes, because that speech he gives in The Force Awakens, it makes you think, oh, this dude is a problem. He is this dude's clearly a leader, and people I can't blame fascists for following him. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
then ultimately for him to devolve into the point where he's just a sad dude who's gonna rat because he doesn't like Kylo Ren. All right, but it ultimately does. It ultimately is funny.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
This is Hux. I can hear you. Can you hear me? I think he's tooling with you, sir.
Yeah, a lot of I don't know. There's in Star Wars, there's so many things that you can critique and be why do they do it this way? Whatever. In that scene that we're just talking about, bombers in zero gravity. If you think about it for too long, sure, some things aren't going to make sense. It's a fictional universe. They have ships that can go in light speed, and you're not going to drop a bomb. You don't think they can have some magnets that force some bombs downwards, Right. Come on. They can literally travel faster than light. So, I don't know. I think, ever since I kind of used to be that way with Star Wars. I wanted it to be authentic, and I wanted, it to go by the code and, never break any rules. But then, it's just not what it's about. It's entertainment. It's, an escape. And I don't want to fall back into my human brain when I'm in Star Wars galaxy. I
Right.
want to stay in Star Wars. So,
no, I feel that. And it's certainly easy to fall into that, though. There are moments where you're like, wow, that is hard to believe. But then sometimes you just got to go, it's Star Wars. It's for 8-year-olds. I've loved this since I was 5. There's got to be a reason that I liked it when I was 5. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's a great choice. Hux. Was that your 91?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, with my 91, we get our first solo character. I have Val here. She was played by Thandiwe Newton, and ultimately is the first sacrifice we see in that first train heist where they're trying to steal the coaxium, and they're ambushed by the marauders. But Val,
Maeve.
I think she was dope. I think her and Woody Harrelson's chemistry was electric, and I think that I think they did her kind of dirty, kind of shitty. That first black woman we're really seeing in Star Wars, and they're like, we're gonna kill her 45 minutes into the movie. I think that kind of sucked. I think she deserved better, and Thandiwe Newton certainly did too. Ultimately goes on, or already played Maeve in Westworld, so she's awesome. And I think her character rocked. I liked Val a lot.
Yeah, I was always Team Maeve. Didn't know it was Maeve until just now. That's pretty sick. Didn't watch Westworld whenever I watched Solo, so
right. So yeah, that was probably a connection.
First,
You're like, oh shit, yeah, right.
Yeah, I saw her first in Solo, then Westworld, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, wow, who would have known Maeve in Star Wars? I've always been Team Maeve, by the way. I don't know.
Oh yeah, of course. You have to be. But and then like knowing just how talented the actress is and how fucking fantastic she's been in other things.
Sad.
It does suck that she's dead in our universe, in Star Wars universe. But yeah, 91. I had Val because she rocks.
My 90 and 90 or 89 kind of go together, but I'll just say my 90 first. First of the Book of Boba Fett. It is a mod, and it is SCAD.
SCAD.
The mods
the spin.
I think they did this perfectly. They gave Den a spin, right? Den did a spin. It looked cool. I guess it kind of made more sense than SCAD's spin. But Den does it, and we're all like, oh my God, so cool, badass,
Right.
I know it was kind of cringy.
No, it's for like, I can imagine being 7 and reenacting it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like,
it's for kids.
It got people talking.
Right.
Like,
I've heard more people talking about that fucking thing than anything else in the episode.
And that's the thing, is like the mods and their bikes and everyone being like, these people suck. Oh, what even are they? They don't match Tatooine people. They don't fit Star Wars. This is a new story that we've never seen before and never know the events of.
Always new shit. Always new shit.
And would you want Tatooine to stay this desert wasteland with
just
zero color and no personality at all? Or would you rather Boba turn Tatooine into a freaking party planet, Like,
yeah. Let's get
know.
to that black melon at the center of the planet, dude.
Like,
let's nurse on its milk.
I think the finale, like, although the spin and how people talking about it, I think it kind of redeemed the mods, and I think people like them a little bit more after this episode.
I think so too.
Like, it showed that they weren't just there, just to send walkies, just be like, all right, hey, people,
they were down to ride, and I love that they were willing to oppose Boba whenever they were like yo,
here.
You go ahead,
like,
run back to your palace if you want, be above the rest of us.
Like,
we're gonna fight for the people of Tatooine.
They taught Boba a very valuable lesson right there. Like,
yeah, and he was like,
Boba was set going back to his palace, and he was like, yeah, way more protection there. But then, what does that show the people of Mos Espa? You're leaving and not protecting them, and that's what you're offering, So, like, they, like, legitimately right there, they, like...
And I loved that Boba was immediately like, oh, shit.
You're right.
Yeah, all right, we'll stay here.
Yeah, you're right. That, and, like, that, like... whenever people are like, why isn't Boba just being a murderous, cold-blooded killer? Like, what? Like, this is way cooler. Like,
so much cooler.
We have Darth Vader for that, Like,
yeah, right.
We have Vader and Sith.
Like we don't need all these other guys to be that. But yeah, I think shit, that was your 90?
SCAD.
Mm-hmm. SCAD. That's a good choice. I have SCAD later on in my list. Definitely fuck with SCAD. But my 90 is Galen Erso. as you mentioned a couple
Very
picks
close.
back. And the only reason he's the lowest Rogue One character on my list is just because he has the least screen time of all of them. But he has what is for me far and away the most impactful moment of the movie. Whenever Jin is in Saw's thing as the Death Star is destroying Jeddah, and he's like, "Just so you know, I never forgot about you. I've been hiding the whole time. I love you so much." I get chills just thinking about it. I cry every time I watch it. It's maybe the most powerful scene across all of Star Wars. And I mean that. Like, just talking about it's getting me all like, that's a good scene. But and the actor there, I believe that's Mads Mikkelsen as Galen Erso. He's fucking fantastic.
Think about it. You don't have him, Luke doesn't blow up the Death Star.
There you go.
He's the true hero of Star Wars.
Answered decades of questions. How did they miss such a massive flaw? It's because the man who built it did it on purpose. It's fantastic. And I loved, like if I were to die or if I were to rebel, they'd just replace me with someone else. And I have more control over it this way. If I stay inside and work it, I learned to do what I could never do. Lie. And like that whole thing was just fantastic. I love it so much. But and like upon talking about it, I wish I had Galen Erso higher. But I have him here at 90, and I'm a stick by it.
Oh yeah, that dude, a G. Thank you for all of Star Wars.
Shouts out.
Appreciate you. My 89, another mod, Drash.
She had like maybe the coolest shot in all of Book of Boba Fett. Where it was like below her, and she was riding her bike on the top of the building, and her arm, and she was looking down. It was just dope.
And they, I don't know. This, it's kind of the same talk that we had with SCAD. Just the mod general talk. But like, I don't know. I really gotten to like them. Like, I think it's a cool addition. I think we talked about it in the Sarlacc Soundwave. The like body art and the modifications, it's pretty clear that it's representing like tattoos or dyed hair, piercings, like and I don't know, I think it's super cool, like Cobb Vanth getting an upgrade,
so excited for whatever the fuck Cobb Vanth's future is, buddy.
Like
I love that, man.
I think the introduction of the mods is just it's basically Grievous but better. Like him just trying to upgrade himself like to the maximum, but
First
like
mod.
This is just like a better, like kind of a cooler way. Finnick isn't alive, without these modifications and like stuff like that. So like I don't know.
I saw someone that was like, the mods suck, and then someone was like, Darth Vader is literally a mod.
Yeah, just a nugget if you take away all of everything else. Like 3 limbs gone and a hand, right? Or is that hand? Yeah. 3 limbs and or was the arm that got chopped off also?
No, other arm.
He doesn't have one hand.
No, he has no limbs.
He has one arm to about the mid wrist area, and that's it. Wow,
he's modded up.
So I don't know. I think the mods. I mean, it's basically the Star Wars version of a tattoo shop. Like, and
it makes so much sense. Like, it's just, and especially post Empire, like it makes sense that these kids who have grown up in an Imperial controlled Tatooine want to act up. Like, hey, we going all out after that. Fuck this shit. We
all of their money on that. They couldn't buy water afterwards. Like this meant like everything to them. And
this was them being who they are, and I love that. But yeah, with that, I'll stick with you in the Book of Boba Fett realm with my first Book of Boba character here. Oh wait, no, I had the Mayor's Majordomo. So my second Book of Boba character here, and Garsa Fwip. She ran the sanctuary, and this is where I was going to bring up the fact that they made sure Max Rebo didn't make an appearance and then killed everybody else. That's fucking insane to me.
Yeah, they showed the whole place, and that's why like I'm comfortable with saying Max Rebo is not dead, because I
Yeah.
rewatched it and they like show every angle of like everyone that's in there, just so you know who's all blowing
But
up.
for me, that like kind of sucks. Like the fact that like not even like because the whole thing I think with the sanctuary was kind of like everyone who worked there was kind of like a freed slave. Like, and then they kill all of them.
Damn.
Which just like I think, and this kind of sucks about the series. I went in a direction early on in theorizing that ultimately the goal was to free the slaves of Tatooine for the Book of Boba Fett. And the only freed slave who makes it out alive is Black Chrysanthemum, which is just kind of heartbreaking. But
Man, why do the Wookiees always got to be on their own, man? Like,
right, every time.
I don't know. Okay, and I might just be holding on too much, but Mommy might not be dead.
Why
And
you say
here's
that?
the thing, is that they really cut it to make it seem that like these pikes, the second they left the door, that thing blew up. But no way. Like they were nowhere in sight. Like when it blew up, obviously, because they're not going to blow it right when they hit the door. They would have died. Like,
Right.
So they waited a little bit. And Mommy, she knew what was going on.
And we don't see a body.
You left your thing there. And she hears it. She immediately is like, oh, this place is going up. I mean,
we don't see a single body in the cantina.
Exactly.
Actually.
I mean, and that could just be that they're all
incinerated.
Yeah. But who's to say that this place, it's a place of that Boba was like, hey, it's important, very important to have like protection and like power over this place. It's important. There's probably a basement or like somewhere where she could have run to that's like a back room. I don't know. Like, or she like just started.
I sure hope so. I hope
I'm
so.
like 20% only in that she's like alive.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I think they're dead. Which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a hold on to the fact that we don't see a body. We don't see a body, and when you don't see a body, they're typically alive in Star Wars. That's kind of how it goes. But yeah, my 89 was Garsa Fwip.
Garsa Fwip, and they had to just give us a character that they knew we would latch on to, just to blow up. Like they knew exactly what they were doing.
And that's why I ultimately think that like she is dead is because it was like a meaningful death, and one of the only meaningful deaths in the show was just like, oh shit, the war's begun. They killed off one of our favorite characters in the show.
Damn.
It just sucked that it happened to be her that they did it to. I think there were a variety of characters that I would have had in her stead. But Garsa Fwip, 89 for me.
My 88 is Duchess Satine.
Satine!
Obi-Wan not so Jedi like. You doing a little something on the side there, Obi-Wan?
Little fucky.
But I
Bumpin'
really
uglies.
like. I wrote
Sex.
an essay in high school of who Rey's parents were. In my top one choice that I wanted it to be was Obi-Wan and Duchess Satine. Imagine Rey is Obi-Wan and Duchess Satine, like the Jedi mind tricks that Rey did, and it just like it was lining up, and I was like, oh my god, this is like so perfect. Rey is so focused on who her parents are. Like this is gonna be such a beautiful reveal. But getting off, I guess, a little off topic from Duchess. Sorry, Duchess.
No, it's relevant.
But like I wanted her to be like Rey's mom so bad. I wanted her and Obi-Wan be a thing. But man, like the Clone Wars episodes with Duchess and like just seeing Mandalore, like I don't know. Every time Mandalore came up, I was just like fully in. And in Rebels, too. Obviously, like it's just I love me some Duchess, love me some Mandalore, any Mandalore content that I can get.
Isn't it crazy that Star Wars animation just hasn't missed?
Has not. Dave Filoni is on that. He knows what he's like. I don't know. I think animation, you're just so you're so much more open. You have anything you want to do. You can do anything. And with a universe like Star Wars, it's like animation is just the perfect medium for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I can never get enough of live action Star Wars. That's what we want to see, on the surface level. But some of the best stories and best characters and everything come from animation.
Right.
Like Book of Boba. We're freaking out over Ahsoka. Ahsoka. There are a lot of people don't really know who she is, which is really sad. But that is a character right there that was birthed in animation, and
And I'm not going to cap with you, is if you want the best Ahsoka content right now, it's not live action. It is all animation. I'd argue her worst appearances are her live action appearances so far. But I mean, the Jedi's pretty fucking hype, and so is Book of Boba episode 6. But I don't know. I'm still not all the way there with Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka. But we'll get more to that later, whenever Ahsoka inevitably pops up on both of our lists, very high up.
Oh, yeah. She'll be mentioned much, much, much later.
Much later. Much later. But Duchess Satine, great choice. She'll also be popping up on my list in a little bit. But a little bit sizable of a difference, which I'm surprised to see. But yeah, still Cassian Andor's holding on to that top spot for the biggest difference. But my 88 is K2SO, Cassian's companion. Love this droid. He's got the sacrifice play. He's epic. I think if you caught me doing this list fresh off of a viewing of Rogue One, the list looks a lot different. Because every time I watch Rogue One, I walk away holy fuck, how do I always forget that's my favorite Star Wars movie?
So good.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I have to talk myself back into being no, it's Return of the Jedi. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. It's not Rogue One, Return of the, but
I don't know. It does have that hallway scene, it's that good of a movie, and we get a Vader scene, and the freaking connection between Vader's hallway scene and Luke's hallway scene in the Mandalorian finale. Rogue One is the most underappreciated Star Wars movie, without a doubt. There is no doubt in my mind that is the most underrated Star Wars movie.
I give that title to Solo personally.
That's fair. It was just released at a bad time.
Right.
I don't think Solo stacks up to Rogue One though.
No, I don't think so either. I think Rogue One is the best movie we've gotten since 1983.
It is
for my money. And maybe since 2005. But
fair.
Yeah, K2SO is epic. His sacrifice play, I'll never forget him holding it down for Cassian and Jyn there at the end. That's amazing. Alan Tudyk, fantastic voice actor. But yeah, K2SO.
Funny ass droid. I got him up pretty high actually.
Love to hear that.
Pretty sizable difference there, I'd say. But my 87 is Greedo.
Greedo doesn't appear on my list.
One of the most iconic Star Wars moments that Harrison Ford couldn't give two shits about.
Doesn't give a fuck.
I love every time. Who shot first? Who shot? I don't care. He's like,
I don't care.
Who cares? But
was Han Solo a Force ghost? I don't fucking know.
Not much to say about Greedo. He comes in, doesn't walk out. So. He's on screen not for too long, but
epic character design though. The design of the Rhodians and
love their eyeballs.
The first Rhodian we see. Oh, fantastic! I almost put Anaconda Farr on here, Senator Anaconda Farr.
That episode was so good.
Who is just beautifully designed in animation. I love
their eyes look like galaxies, straight up. Oh yeah,
beautiful. But yeah, that's a good 87. My 87 is Janna. From The Rise of Skywalker. I love the stormtrooper who, freed herself and became who she wanted to be. And, seemed to be a little force guided, which is really cool as well. But I think this character is only subject to Rise. if her and Finn or her and anybody else from the sequel trilogy end up getting their own spinoff sort of thing, I'm gonna be there. You know, her bringing in the horses for them to ride on on the Star Cruiser. That's pretty epic. I loved this character, and she can only go upwards in this list for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Every time that I'm reminded of this part of the movie and the sequels is just it's another one of those when you think about it, I don't know, that a Sith dagger that lines up with and points to where the holocron is. So was the you know what? I just don't I don't know. I just rather not go there. But no. You know what? This is a cool I like the future that they're going with Force led characters. That it's not strictly Jedi, that and they don't have to follow the Jedi code, and that it can truly be anybody kind of now, which I think that's way more beautiful of a story rather than, if you're not a Skywalker or you're not a Palpatine, you're not going to be anything special. That's not fun. That's I think it's way better with the direction they're going.
Well, especially beyond the Skywalker saga. I think that was fun for the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For what we were doing for these movies, it makes sense to keep it in the family. But I think beyond this franchise, beyond that specific saga, the Skywalker saga, let's open it up a bit. Maybe some Skywalker characters every now and then, but doesn't have to be all about that.
They had the perfect opportunity with Finn. It could have been the best character of the sequel trilogy. In my opinion, had the coolest concept. Imagine Trooper gone Jedi. I don't know.
We could still get there.
I know they should have gotten there. I guess should have gotten there. I don't know. Maybe I am jumping the gun too quick. Maybe it does take way longer to get in tune with the Force, and I'm thinking that it could just happen, So I guess I'm a little harsh on the sequels, just in general. No. But
understandable though, and. No, yeah, I have Finn on my list much later. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see the future of those characters, and I hope Jannah comes back around eventually.
Yeah, that'll be a cool new Jedi that we can follow along. We got some cool people.
Right.
My 86 already mentioned Admiral Akbar.
So
gotta. He was the last person that I came up with on my list before I blanked. Was Akbar. It just, I don't know. It was kind of it just kind of fitting. I was laying there and I'm like, I can't think of anybody. And I just kept staring at his name, for some, just over and over, just seeing that little type
little
thing,
ticker.
Little tick thing going. And I was like, Admiral Akbar. And he was just, I was just thinking of him just for so long. But
I love that.
Just over and over. It's a trap. It's a trap in my head, just over and over and over. But yeah.
Akbar, legend. But yeah, my 86 and 85 go together. So I'll rattle them both off here. I've got Trace Martinez at 86, and I've got Rafa Martinez at 85. I think these are criminally overhated characters for their arc in the Clone Wars. I think it's partially because there's a really, really misogynistic streak in our fan base. And I think there's also the fact that people wanted something else for Ahsoka throughout the last season. And it was just kind of so we're going to do this for a little bit. But you go revisit that arc now after what we've seen in the Book of Boba Fett. And it's kind of oh, cool. The Pikes and stuff, their spice trade and everything. I get it more. And then them showing up in the Bad Batch, and they're also the prime example people go to for the small universe thing. Oh, we're going to run into them here on Corellia with the Bad Batch and stuff. Sure. And I don't really give a fuck.
I mean, the Force is a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and it literally wills, things to happen. A small world is the whole kind of point of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I
But
like what
Trace and Rafa, I fucks with them.
you think they show up in Ahsoka live action?
Ooh, I hadn't really considered it. I think it'd be interesting because they'd both be considerably older. Probably
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, duh.
they'd be like 40s and 50s.
Wonder what they'd be doing. Like,
I mean, they could still be doing the same shit, which
Yeah.
would be interesting. I'd look forward to seeing them more on the like Andor side of things and Kenobi side of things. If we're to see them in live action,
That's
and I think there'll be more stuff that presents itself, and specifically Andor. Like I could see them not joining the rebellion, but or maybe joining the rebellion. I don't fucking know. After where they leave in the Bad Batch, where it's like everyone chooses sides eventually. You know, like maybe they do choose a side and they go fight with the rebellion. I think that'd be cool. But Trace and Rafa, yeah, that's my 86 and 85.
My 85, it's kind of a collection of people, but the official name of the Cantina band, the lead guy, Figrin Dan, and the Modal Nodes.
Modal Nodes.
I mean, they've given us some classic, timeless music that is recognizable from the first note. And you know you're in Star Wars whenever you hear them.
You certainly.
So I had to just throw the Cantina band up in here. No, it's multiple people, but I kind of think of them as one collective. You know, they're like the what's the group of like, it's like 4 guys and they're all like singing a cappella. What like and like they call that something like
yeah. I don't know.
Quartet?
Oh,
that doesn't sound right. Though.
Yes. It's a fucking barbershop quartet.
Is it quartet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of see them as like a quartet. You know, like just there's
also
like,
the Max Rebo 7. If you look into the Max Rebo 7, got a couple Cantina bands.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wait, for real? Like of the same species, or you just mean?
Like, just like a few Cantina bands that have appeared.
Okay, I gotcha. But
yeah, we got some kick-ass bands just slinging some jizz in the Star Wars universe.
It's technically John Williams, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is.
So throw John Williams in here too, at 85.
Yeah, you could throw his little cameo in The Rise of Skywalker where he was behind the bar.
I guess my 84 just goes perfectly. It's Max Rebo as my 84. So so he's up here. Had to throw him above the band though. You know, the band's cool and all, but like it's Max Rebo.
He's a cut above.
Okay. I don't know why. Max Rebo just looks like he'd give the most comfortable hug. He just looks like a teddy, like a teddy bear.
He looks like a little kind of inflatable, which is really cute. Like I feel like if you put him in a pool, you could float on him.
Yeah, maybe when you hug him, he'd compress a little bit, you know, and like just form around you. It'd be,
outstanding.
Yeah, Max Rebo.
So that was your 84,
85 and 84. Yep, the band and Max Rebo.
All right, my 84 is Callus from Rebels. The whole Imperial turned Rebel thing is really awesome to me. Love that character arc, and the kind of relationship he forms with Garazeb over the course of the show. I think is really dope.
Do you have a connection with Fulcrum, or was he like trying to seek out Fulcrum and then
Fulcrum.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was like that was sick. Like his storyline is really cool.
Like, and if you watch Rebels. Like rewatch Rebels, you'll appreciate him all the more. That's like first watch, you don't like the guy for like a really long time until you see him that one time after the mission with Zeb, where he goes back to his bunker, looks around, and is like, "Man, ain't nobody looking out for me here, bro." I love that, I love that arc, and I think Callus is a wonderful character, and frankly. It's kind of funny, you know, like I said this after Rogue One. You catch me fresh off a watch of Rebels, a lot of those characters probably a lot higher too. I kind of in a perfect spot here in terms of like recency bias. The only thing that might be affected by recency bias is the Book of Boba Fett, but everything else is I've watched it when I've watched it, and I know how well I know it, you know, so I think this is accurate.
All right. Yeah, moving on to my 83 is Mon Mothma.
Good call. So interesting. We both had Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar back to back,
Mhm.
just in different spots on the
Mhm.
on the list.
And she, like, the crazy thing is, like, she appeared in the sequels, and that's the same actress. Like from the okay, no, there's something crazy about her appearance in the sequels, and I don't know what it is.
She was in Rogue One.
Maybe that was it, and like it was
She
actually
looked
her.
just like her, but I don't know that it's the same
was it?
actress.
Okay.
Yeah, because her and Jimmy Smits.
Maybe it was it just an actress, or do they do like any CGI like work? Maybe it was like that the VFX on her were like something
she
crazy,
looked
but like
just like Mon Mothma.
I remember, or maybe it was just you just couldn't tell. Like it was just that was Mon Mothma right there. Like
yeah, you couldn't tell it was a different person.
But I don't know. She's just
but
kind of like a feel good character, you know. Like she just is.
Absolutely. If you're an OT fan, there's no way you're not fucking with Mon Mothma. You know.
Oh yeah, she's like a symbol. She's like a Leia, you know. Like not. She's like Leia, but just like a little step down from Leia, basically. She's almost Leia.
Almost.
And that's a great compliment. That's a compliment to say you're almost Leia, I'd say.
Oh, to be sure. I'd agree for sure. But with that, I'll go on to my 83, where I have L3. This was Lando's droid companion in Solo. I thought this droid, it definitely caught a bad rep, just because, I mean, like it there was certainly this aspect of a realistic and obvious, persona to her that was like, yes, this is the feminist droid. And I think that amongst the Star Wars fandom, that is a shoo-in to get fucking flamed. And I, however, really loved her character. I loved Phoebe Waller-Bridge as L3. She and like the fact that Lando cared so much for the droid companion, and like whenever she dies and he's running through the battlefield to go save her body, and then she becomes one with the Millennium Falcon and is the navigational system that we use the entire time in the original trilogy, like, and in the sequel trilogy. L3 is always there. She lives on in the Millennium Falcon.
That's cool.
I think that's really cool. So L3 is here at my 83.
I'm kind of sticking with the same vein of like a Mon Mothma, but the reason that Admiral Holdo is a cut above Mon Mothma, no way. Do we line up here?
82?
Yeah, 82.
Holy shit, Admiral Holdo's my 82.
That's awesome. But yeah, that light speed maneuver there, like, although it should have been happening throughout the entirety of Star Wars, like it just makes economic and military sense. I don't care. But like one of the most beautiful shots in all of Star Wars, like I remember in the theater when it just went silent, like there was no sound and you just saw the ship explode and like the whole, like everything, like
and I think just The Last Jedi prevails itself over and over as just my favorite sequel trilogy film, and Admiral Holdo is a very big part of that, as she's also my 82. I think that the kind of idea she represents as the opposition to Poe Dameron kind of throughout the movie, not the opposition, but Poe Dameron kind of makes her his opposition. I think it was really, really cool, and I think I do see why some people will be like, she should have just told him, and I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe she should have, but he wouldn't have let her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they would have tried to figure. He would have tried his best to figure something out. He wouldn't have let that happen, and ultimately, it's what they needed to let happen. And Admiral Holdo knew that. And I respect that the entire time. She was like, "Hey, when we run out of fuel, y'all get to go down there, and I'm gonna die. Okay, so go ahead and do your fucking thing. I got shit to do." I really fucked with her. And the fact that she's played by Laura Dern, who I just absolutely adore. She's fucking fantastic. And if you're a Jurassic Park fan, I know you love Laura Dern too.
Mm.
But yeah, Admiral Holdo is a perfect one of my favorite Resistance Rebellion characters overall.
Mm-hmm.
As you could see, came above for both of us, went above Akbar and Mon Mothma.
Mm-hmm.
Admiral Holdo.
Oh yeah, she. Although I guess not as iconic, as Akbar and Mon Mothma, but
no, certainly
in
not.
her actions and like what I feel like she was more of a character. There's more to latch on to with her.
She represents the rebellious spirit and the rebellion and the resistance just perfectly, and the sacrifices that need to be made in order to, fulfill your rebellion, fulfill your resistance. And I think she's awesome, Admiral Holdo. Perfect.
Oh yeah, crazy that we lined up there.
I know, that's insane. What are the odds that it'll be crazy if we have more than one. But Admiral Holdo at 82, that's cool.
81. I didn't know this guy's name before. Only knew him because, just of his character. Didn't know his name was Sebulba? The guy that Annie races in the pod, the like main antagonist in the pod race, basically.
Sebulba.
I don't know, just like
I thought about him, but I just really fucking hate Sebulba.
And that's kind of why I put him on there. Is he's so easily hateable. And like that's the whole point of his character.
Right.
Like, and just cool design. Like when you first see him or whatever, he's like basically the crime boss just sitting eating his lunch, whatever, and like Jar Jar, like something gets flung at him or something like that. And he comes out like, who the hell just messed with me? Like, and then he, the whole pod race thing happens and everything.
No, yeah, Sebulba, that's a great antagonist, especially like the small level antagonist that he presents in the Phantom Menace. The pod race being such an integral part of that movie, and him being who you're rooting against the whole time. It's important, that we had someone we hated during that scene.
And like the Lego Star Wars pod race mission,
that made me want to die.
Oh yeah, we all. Why was that so hard as a kid, man? Those freaking sand people just dinking my freaking pod. Like, oh my God. God damn.
I was like, just screeching across the screen back and forth.
I used to hate the sand people to death, but now like that I know their whole story, it's like, man, I can't really hate Tuskens, you. Man. Can't really hate you guys. Like the pod racing is just like everything they go against. It's like people just taking advantage like of the land. And now I'm like, oh damn. Now it's like, I get why they're like shooting at these, people.
They're like, get the fuck away.
Like, yeah, but 81.
Yeah, no, that's a good choice. Sebulba, that was your 81.
Mm-hmm. Sebulba.
I like it. My 81 is IG-11. I liked IG-11. You'll find that the droids, besides the more obvious ones, fall towards the bottom of my list. No matter how much I like them, because like I've already said K2SO and IG-11, and those are two of my like top 5 droids, and they're down here in the 80s and 90s, or no, both 80s. But I love IG-11. You know what I'm saying? I think the sacrifice he makes in the finale of The Mandalorian season 1, and his turn from the robot bounty hunter who's going to kill the baby to the nurse droid is absolutely fantastic, and we have no one to thank for that but Queel, who probably won't be mentioned today as of now, but IG-11. He comes in at my 81.
I said that my K2SO was higher up whenever you mentioned him, like pretty high up, and my IG-11's even higher. Definitely won't be mentioned today. That's I love me some IG-11. I'll definitely talk about him later. But my 80. Give it to our boy Paul Bettany as Dryden Voss.
Okay. Okay. Dryden Voss, you got it right.
Dryden, yeah, I didn't know if I pronounced his first name right, but I don't know. Just was cool seeing Paul Bettany, like while watching the movie. And I don't, that's not the only reason I like his character. I think it's just kind of like a cool concept for a character as well, And
certainly,
I don't know, anything that we can get related to that Kira. Just storyline, I'm all for. So
I'm there. But yeah, Dryden Voss, he was fun. I think Paul Bettany definitely brought a certain a certain characteristic to the character it wouldn't have otherwise had he not been there. And I love Paul Bettany as an actor, so I love that choice here. He doesn't make my list, but I do fucks with some Dryden Voss content for sure. With that, my 80 brings us to my first mod. I've got Scad at the 80 spot, just simply for the spin. I made my top 100. He had to be there, and his ride or die for the people of Mos Espa certainly pushed him up there for me, and he's just a really likable character. And the whole keep your eye on things. I'm sorry, nah, it's cool. I pay good money for this. I'm proud of what it is. I like that. I like he's sure of who he is, and I fucks with that. So Scad comes in at my number 80.
That's good. Yeah, I didn't think they'd. I'm glad that the mods just made the list though.
Right.
Like they deserve it. And for 79, I couldn't. I don't know. It's two people. It's like the twins, the Visions episode. Okay. And I kind of grouped them in as one, just kind of I don't know. I didn't want to eliminate another person just to kind of bring up this Vision storyline, but
I feel you.
Another Visions character, further up, that's for sure. But this is the only other Visions mention that I will have. But I love me Visions. The other one I think is obvious, but the twins was my other favorite episode, by and large, of Visions, and I kind of just grouped them together here at 79. But yeah.
I dig it. All right. My 79 is Tarkin. I don't fuck with Tarkin on a personal level, but he brings a certain iconicism to the role, being one of the bigger guys you're hating in 1977 Star Wars. And there's a certain look about him that's just that's the definition of who an Imperial is. Who works for the Empire? Well, it's Tarkin. That just makes sense.
In some ways, he's worse than Vader sometimes.
He's pretty cruel.
I don't know if whenever they blow up Alderaan, I wonder if Vader was going to go through, if Vader was knowing about that, or if Tarkin was just all right, keep it going. And I think Vader was even kind of taken back, oh shit, all right, fuck, we're doing
damn, we just destroyed a planet. All right,
we're doing that.
That's cool.
That's my daughter's home planet right there, gone forever. See ya.
Yeah. You gone.
But that's that dude right there. He's
ain't nothing to fuck with.
But he's up on my list. Let's see, not too much higher, but he's up higher. There. But
so that was my 79. You presented your 79, right?
Mm-hmm. Now I'm now up.
So we each got 3 left. We're going to stop at 76.
Okay.
And then the next episode will be 75 through 51. Third installment will be 50 through 26, and the last episode will be the top 25. As this has taken us over an hour. I didn't anticipate it, but here we are.
My 78 could be coming back up, possibly Barriss Offee. And just I don't know, her whole storyline with Clone Wars, I thought was super cool. Kind of you hate her at the end for it, I guess, but
still an awesome character with awesome, interesting motives and stuff, and she will be popping up on my list. Not too much further up, but won't be popping up today. Yeah, she's an awesome character and an epic character design, and I think there's some interesting controversy surrounding the character design and the action she takes. Considering the coding for the character, the religious coding for the character, she's kind of designed to hold the appearance of a Muslim woman, and then she bombs the temple. So there's a lot of controversy around that side of the story for her, and I only recently came into contact with that, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's a pretty massive oversight on the parts of if it was an oversight even. I hope it was.
I think
I was like,
there's another character that I don't think will be brought up today, but it falls in the same vein of a character that when you look more down into it, it's like, eesh, like this kind of I don't know about this. I laugh at it, and like there's certain things that I laugh at, but I don't know, like maybe I shouldn't be laughing at some of these things. But
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Who'll be popping up later. But no, yeah, nevertheless, but I loved Barasafi's character, and I thought she was an awesome Padawan and a great companion to Ahsoka at the times when she was a companion to Ahsoka, and her ultimate betrayal of Ahsoka is a really interesting storyline that brings a really high level of drama to a series that is for children, and I think it's really cool. I think she's an awesome character.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
So that was your 78?
Yes, 78.
All right, my 78 is Typhon. He's another of Naboo's royal guards for Padme Amidala. He's the dude with the eye patch who's guarding her in Attack of the Clones. Just this one's more because I've been reading the Queen's Shadow, and his character is a pretty big part of it, and is really another ride or die. All the handmaidens and the Naboo royal guard are really riding for Padme, and I rides for Padme, so I'm a fuck with them.
Makes sense.
And he's also
with Padme.
He's also one of the founding members of the Amidalans, who are in search of whoever killed Padme post Revenge of the Sith. That's more of a comics storyline throughout the Vader run and stuff, but really cool. Typhon's really cool in that, and they're certainly not the last mention of Naboo's handmaidens or royal guards. Typhon at 78 for me. I think he's really dope.
My 77s are a repeat. It's a Garsa Fwip.
Garsa!
Rest in peace. Hopefully not, but probably. I don't know. I think we pretty much said all that there is to say about Garsa Fwip, but
yeah, we spoke on Garsa. She's mommy. Mm-hmm. She's mommy as fuck, and I'll hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave.
The Twi'leks, man. They
might be the head tails. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, there's just something about them. I don't know. Something about
they're
Twi'leks.
Lovely. They're a beautiful species.
Mm-hmm. But there's a 77. I got one more left. Wow.
Yeah, so we got 77 and 76. In my 77, I've got Garazeb Aurelios of the Star Wars Rebels cast, the giant purple guy.
Mm-hmm. Zeb.
Of the Lasat.
Oh yeah.
Or Lasat.
Mm-hmm.
He was a
story.
Definitely my least favorite character of the Rebels crew, but nevertheless, I still had a love for him, I think his relationship with Ezra is kind of his older brother or uncle type figure. It was interesting, he was the immature older guy who's just kind of goofy, and I loved that. And
I don't know, his
ultimate relationship,
like storyline.
Oh yeah, their connection to the Force is really dope, and they seem to have kind of coded Garazeb and Callus to kind of be it seems romantically attached if they wanted to run with that, but they didn't expressly state it. So it'd be interesting to see what they might do with these characters in the future. I don't know how much more stuff we'll get in line with the original trilogy, but with Ahsoka coming out and being spoken of as something of a Rebels sequel series, maybe they pop back up. It'd be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I guess my last one, giving it to Miggs Mayfeld, Bill Burr. Yeah, he I don't know. I think he surprised everyone. Like whenever we first saw him, like we all saw Bill Burr and we're like, what?
Bill
Bill Burr? And then they had to bring him back. He was that good of a character. We're like, yeah, they knew,
and came back for one of the more impactful moments of the entire series. Mayfeld is the first of the co-stars, or first of anybody in the Mandalorian cast who is human to see Din Djarin's face, which is pretty cool. And him ultimately getting let go was was pretty cool. Them picking him up and them being like, "Yo, we need you," and then you did your job. Go ahead. You died there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when he destroys the Imperial facility and just he takes out that one last shot and it just explodes, I'm like, oh my god, what a fucking king!
I think
love this.
That is what made Mando and everyone change their mind to let him go. I think that one shot they were like, all right.
He destroyed an Imperial facility. He's clearly not fucking with this anymore.
You're good, man. It was such a, if he does never come back again, I think it was like a beautiful send off and like a beautiful cameo. 2 episodes was all he was in, and or what?
It's all he needed, really.
Yeah, it was just 2. I don't know if he overlapped over 2.
No, I think it was just 2. I think it was just 2. I think it was The Prisoner, episode 6 of The Mandalorian, chapter 6, and then in season 2, chapter 7, so chapter 15. If I'm doing the math there right, second to last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but yeah, he just a great character, and I really fuck with Mayfeld.
Loving all these cameos that they're doing now, like celebrity cameos that have turned out to be good.
Just with the depth on them, I love it. But so that was your 76, which concludes your 76 through 100.
It does indeed.
All right, my 76 is BB-8. Yeah, I like I said, no matter how much I love droids, you'll find that they kind of fall down the list. And BB-8, that's the droid of the sequel trilogy. He's awesome design. Actually super fun to use on Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a fun little guy, just a fun little guy.
Orange.
And he's cute as fuck.
Criminally underrated color, orange. It's not
he's
used.
An orange and white BB unit.
It's not used in many places, and he just is a cool looking droid.
I've actually read that he's the BB units are specifically designed to be something like therapy droids, like a service dog. It's like a service droid, and Poe needs BB-8. That's his boy.
Cute.
When BB's awesome. Gone, Poe's like, oh shit, BB-8, it's good to see you, buddy. What's up, buddy? Hey, he's so excited. It's his best buddy, and maybe that's what BB stands for, best buddy. BB-8.
Oh.
That's my 76
of the droids. Yeah, of the droids, that's the closest gap that we have. Your IG-11 and K2SO, those are pretty wide gaps, but this one's pretty close. But.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that'll conclude part 1 of the top 100 Star Wars characters, and by the end of this thing, we'll have several hours of content chronicling this list here.
It only gets better from here.
So. It only does. I'm very excited. I'm gonna have a fucking banger to kick off next week for 75. But with that, let's go over. Let's just go ahead and run it down. 76 through 100. I'll go ahead and read mine. I got 76, BB-8, 77, Garazeb Aurelios, 78, Typhon, 79, Tarkin, 80, Scad, 81, IG-11, 82, Admiral Haldo, 83, L3, 84, Callus, 85, Rafa, 86, Trace, 87, Janna, 88, K2SO, 89, Garsa Fwip, 90, Galen Erso, 91, Val, 92, Captain Phasma, 93, Admiral Akbar, 94, Mon Mothma, 95, Dex, 96, Sid, 97, Quarsh Panaka, 98, Gonki, 99, Babu Frick, and 100, the Mayor's Major Domo.
That's 76. I got Mayfeld, 77, Garsa Fwip, rest in peace, mommy. 78, Barris Offee, 79, the Twins. 80, Dryden Voss. 81, Sebulba. 82, Admiral Holdo. 83, Mon Mothma. 84, Max Rebo. Goat. 85, the Cantina Band, Friggin' Don and the Modal Nodes. 86, Admiral Akbar. 87, Greedo. 88, Duchess Satine. 89, Drash. 90, Scad. 91, General Hux. 92, Galen Erso. 93, Cassian Andor. 94, Bendu. 95, Nala Se. 96, the almighty Dave Filoni. 97, Shion. 98, 99, Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, and 100, Babu Frick.
Legendary.
Mhm.
Legendary. And with that concludes this episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast, part 1 of 4 for the top 100 Star Wars characters. I was Colton Robertson, joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Oh, it is always a pleasure to have you. If you would, head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll find well over 24 hours of exclusive content at this point. It's a full day of content exclusive to that website, nowhere else. So if you're fucking with this, go check that out. Patreon.com/CoroBloom. Follow on Twitter @PennyBloomPod. Follow on Instagram @PennyBloomPodcast. If you're fucking with me and Joe, go and fuck with our 52-year journey through film, which will, chronicle. Every week we're doing a movie from a different year, 1970, 71, 72, all the way through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then 10s, and then it'll lead us to the last week of December where we cover a movie from 2022. I'm not sure what year this week is or when this episode will exactly release, so I can't promise that. But I know we will have already had a Star Wars live commentary for the year 1977. So if you're fucking with this episode, go and check that out. Me and Joe talk over the entirety of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, which is just a lot of fun. That was a fun Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. But if you would, remember, peace, love, and bloom. And always praise the mayor's major domo.